Okay, Graham Healy doing this quick video, and I've entitled this video Trademark Law for Dummies, especially in martial arts. Okay, so I've done a split screen. So what I've got here at the moment is I've got a couple of trademarks that are publicly available. Now, I've, without boring you with the details, I've spent a long conversation with trademark lawyers and also with IP Australia, who give you guidance on all this sort of stuff. Okay, now you see where my little cursor is down here? We'll go down here, right, and we have a look at the trademark Yun Jun Do, In Pursuit of Perfection. Now you notice that that's been removed, not renewed. Renewal fee not paid. Now I'll just repeat that for those who can't read. Removed, not renewed, renewal fee not paid. Now assumably you can understand that. Now here's another little thing for the trademark registration for Dummies video. You can have a look at this. Where are we? The priority date, or the date that this particular trademark was filed, was on the 29th of November 2001. Now they're only valid for 10 years, and in 2011 it expired. Now what happens then, I'll just take you over to this side here, if you can see where I'm at here. This is on trademarks. Right, here we go, and it says a situation where a person applies for a trademark or similar, your trademark blah 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 blah. So basically here, if in 6 months, when you read on that particular page, you can go and look at it, look it up yourself. It basically says this is the trademark law, and I want you to pay attention. A couple of ignorant characters put some not too kind words about me on this is on Solomon Islands for some reason. Solomon Islands, you've become trademark lawyers, have you? So if the trademark is expired for more than 6 months, right, so in other words, there's a company tied to that trademark, right? I think you know who is tied to that trademark. Well, that particular company and person didn't bother renewing it, let it expire over 12 years ago. When it isn't renewed within 6 months, and I'll just repeat this so that you can sort of comprehend it, and I'll just mention it to you, you lose all legal rights. It is no longer your trademark. You've forgotten about it. You've been reminded by the IP Australia, the government body up there. They've sent I don't know how many messages, and you would have just ignored it. So what happens when you ignore it? Then they send you a reminder 6 months later to renew it again. Here we go. Where is it? We'll go back to here. Removed. It gets removed. It was removed, not renewed. Renewal fee not paid. So what that means is you have no legal rights to it. So anyone can register that trademark. Anyone. So you think about it, for 12 years that's been unregistered, right? Now up here I registered this trademark, right, and it's been accepted, right, accepted. So I did the right thing legally by everything that's legal. The old trademark, this one down here, was expired for 12 years. Expired, left go for 12 years. dysfunctional, doesn't belong to anyone, despite a few things that I'll go into in a second. This one here, we have a look at this one. This funny looking trademark here was one that I designed, and was given to the particular person who's registering this now. I actually designed that as a car sticker. Just a little bit of truth goes a long way. This one here, that's the same as this one here. It's not the same as this one here. This one is a copy of what I registered. This one is the original one that was trademarked and was expired for 12 years. So this one here still hasn't got any legal rights because I'm first one in. Right? So after 12 years of doing nothing, the people who did this one, which I designed actually, I mean, you know, this character, let me explain something to you. The character in these symbols are Chinese writing. They're not copyrightable, right? So you can't copyright the Chinese language. You can't copyright Jun or, you know, any Chinese symbol. You can't copyright that. It's the particular, when IP Australia look at these things, they look at the particular design of it, and they look at the wording maybe, and then if no one opposes it. Now, this is the reality. It's a little bit humorous in a way, but this one here remained, as I said, it remained unregistered for 12 years. Finished. 6 months they've got to re-register, so not owned by anyone anymore. And it doesn't really look like this one here. This one here is black and white. This one here is in colour. Now I went and registered that because I have every legal right to do so. Legally in Australia I can do that. Now the other group who claim to have integrity, by the way, registered this one. Now I designed that one. That's a fact. I've got it on my, I did it through Vistaprint as car stickers, right? So that one there I designed. Now, this one here is a copy of that one, right? So now what's happened, if for those, you know, this is a Trademark for Dummies video, what happened is that, oh God, we haven't done anything for 12 years, so, oh, we better see if we can do something about Healy, because, well, if we haven't done anything now, I'm sure we're going to do something, you know. This is how ridiculous this is. So this one down here has not got any legal rights because the date is behind underneath. Like mine was registered, let me see, registered on the 8th of August 2022. This one here, they may as well just cancel it. It looks pathetic, doesn't it? Okay, then this one got registered the 2nd of January 2023. They're chasing their tail with me. You understand that, those trademark intelligent people? So what's happened legally, or they have the right to do that, I suppose, they're trying to challenge me that they were using this before I was and all this sort of stuff. Okay, normally there would be no problem with me registering that trademark because it had expired. So that's the long and short of it, folks. For those who think they're experts in trademark law, you better check your facts. Now, the other thing is, I'm going to go through some stuff. I got a copy, and here it is here. It's I won't show you the detail because I can publicly show you anything that's printed on the IP Australia website, right? But I got this little note, and it says a statement of grounds in particular, grounds to defence here. Where are we? Let's have a look. You see how it's got opposition, under opposition, right? Okay, so that means that another organisation is claiming that, hang on, we haven't done anything for 12 years, we haven't done anything with the clubs for 20 years, maybe we're going to do something. This is how ridiculous this is, right? And maybe we're going to do something with some character who is a cage fighting promoter. Oh, that's plenty of love, care and protection, isn't it? Oh, you know, you just got to laugh at this stupidity. Anyway, in what happens legally, or, you know, within the framework of IP registering trademarks, right? If they want to defend whatever they're doing, they've got to put a statement in to IP Australia, and then that goes to a hearing with an adjudicator in IP Australia, and you know, it becomes this big, long, drawn-out affair, right? But at this stage here, I'm the one who's registered ahead of time, so I've got the thumbs up. Now this group here, because this one's expired 12 years ago, they're now trying to catch up, right? And they're associating with the character that I've spoken about on certain other videos that has no formal Australian qualifications, just all stuff that claims he's done himself. And apparently, suddenly he's a marketing guru and a coaching guru, and gee whiz, how did he suddenly materialise after all this time? After 20 years of doing nothing, the whole system shut down in 2000. I'll tell you why in a second. I've done that in other videos. And the trademarks were all expired. The business wasn't even operating. Nothing was going. No licenses, nothing. No, see, to get a license to operate, you need a trademark. Got it? There isn't any trademark. Right? You can fabricate stuff. You can do a drawing on the wall and claim that you use that first before someone else. Now I'll go into this in this document. I won't give you the details that are written down, but it was previously on the site. Then it's sort of come back to me from a lawyer and all this sort of stuff. So I'll just do the headline. So what happens is that the trademark lawyer or whoever's handling this particular case will look at the trademark law, and they go, okay, section 52, section 53, section 54. And I'll just give you a little bit of insight into it. You know, I won't read you what they've said here, because it's like try and bag Graham Healy Day. But the trouble is that I've got lawyers that show me all this stuff, and they have to state a case. Well, you know, after 12 years of doing nothing and 20 years of inactivity from 2000, we're going to do something now. Yeah, this is how stupid all this is. But anyway, it's got section 58 in the Trademark Act. It says the applicant is not owner. See, you've got to state a case, and it says the applicant is not owner of the trademark. Excuse me? That's expired. The person who wrote this document, and you know who it is not the owner of the trademark either. That's stupid this is, right? So, okay, section 51, if you want to look up the Trademark Act, the applicant, me, who's already got it registered here, and then there's an opposition, is not the owner of the trademark. Well, nor is this character. You know, you can't be an owner of the trademark. It's expired, and as I said clearly, and as the Trademark Office says, you lose all legal rights. Finished. Don't do it within 6 months. You'll either go for 12 years out the gate. They've got to try and argue that you know, this is ours. You know. Now, okay, that's section 58 covered. You know, the applicant is not owner of the trademark. Well, as I said, it's all expired. So anyone, not just me, anyone can register that trademark. You've got over in Fiji where they're using it with some sort of association. You've got it down in New Zealand. None of those people have been officially authorised to do anything because the trademark law is out of date. It's simply not legally valid anymore. Simple as that. Okay, now you've got another little title here, and it says trademark is similar to a trademark that was acquired a reputation in Australia. Now, that reputation in Australia Wonder what reputation that is. Is that the reputation where every chief instructor resigned by the year 2000? Is that the reputation where funds, i.e. money, was transferred out of various countries illegally? Was that the reputation we're talking about? Was that the reputation where the chief instructor of Fiji, Reginald Jokin, wrote a resignation letter, which I have full copies of and can print out at any time publicly, with Reginald's permission? I mean, I've had that for years. And it goes into detail about the non-payment of taxes to the Fijian government. Now, I'll just tell you something about that. This is tax law for dummies now, right? If you, no matter who you are, no matter what martial arts master you are, whether you're Kyokushinkai or karate or taekwondo or, Bruce Lee or anyone, you go to another country, such as Fiji, PNG, Solomon Islands, New Zealand, you take money out of that country, be it cash or be it transferred into your account, for example, grading fees, and you do not pay tax in that country, it's a criminal offence. It's jailable. That's right. Mysteriously, in the year 2000, when the chief instructor of of Fiji wrote his resignation letter, which I know exactly what's in there, and I can at any time put that letter on a public place, was all talking about tax debts. Wonder why Fiji was left alone in the year 2000. Think about that. In Australia, here's the next one. Laundering money for dummies in Australia. Now, I've got all this connected. I'm not stupid. You ever figured that out now? I have a med science degree. I've got lawyers around me. I don't do anything without checking it out correctly. And, a lot of people are trying to claim I don't have integrity or something. And I tell you, I had one character from the Solomon Islands claim that I'm a liar. Right? Now, when he did that, one of the highest ranking martial art instructors in this country, who is fully lined with the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu Society. He's a veteran soldier. He's a well-known security guard and a federal policeman. Defended my reputation, and also he's been a martial arts person for 44 years, defended my reputation for me. Isn't it great when people of high integrity defend other people of high integrity? Yeah, you see, I've never lied to anyone, and I've never done anything that hasn't got integrity, and that's why I stand by it, because over the years I know that if you do something and you don't do it honestly, it'll blow back in your face. So here's one to blow back in the face. Those non-payment of taxes in the South Pacific Islands, it's a criminal offence. It's a jailable offence. So that's why a certain person didn't go back to Fiji. You'd wind up in a Fiji jail eating kava or something. Okay, got it? Right. That's so much for, where are we? Yeah, anyway, I don't know where I got on that subject, but we'll cover it anyhow. So, in Australia, there's been several masters of various styles come over to Australia, right? They take cash money in their back pocket, either spend it at the casino, or that's a lot of integrity, gambling your money, or they take it back to their various countries, be that Korea, be that China, or in one case I know of, be that Ireland. Now, this is the story. In Australia, you have to pay withholding tax. If you don't, it's a criminal offence, jailable. Then, If you're taking out more than 10 grand out of this country, it comes under the Terrorism Act. So, maybe this is a lesson, a legal lesson for dummies about laundering money. So, we'll move on. So, if people want to challenge me about what's legal and not legal, you be very careful, very careful. Okay, so, that's right, the trademark, this is section 60. They write a whole lot of rubbish here. But the trademark is similar to a trademark which is acquired a reputation in Australia. What's that, for laundering money, is it? Okay, all right. Oh, that's a fact. So, now the next one is, trademark is scandalous. Holy hell, it's scandalous, or contrary to the law. So, Section 42. This is how stupid this is. This is what you call amateur half hour regarding legalities. You see that one down there? Here's one here. Okay. That trademark scandalous and contrary to the law, that's expired. All legal rights are gone. So again, Section 42, just complete BS as usual. Then we go on here. Trademark is likely to deceive or cause confusion. Oh God, no! It's not going to cause confusion, is it? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what's going to cause confusion. Now, as I've said on all my other, I mean, this is just a joke. All my other videos is this. I am the original Yunjun international instructor. I am a founding instructor. I'm in all the damn videos. I'm in all the television interviews. Didn't have silver hair then. And myself, an instructor, founding instructor, Sonny Ryan, travelled to PNG in 1991 as the first international Yunjun instructors. And what's more, myself and SAS, Sonny Ryan, SAS soldier, you don't muck around with Sonny Ryan, I'll tell you, good mate of mine, we put money into it. We put, at that time, that was 1989, we put 5 grand in each. Right? Now that would have been equivalent to 20 grand today. Of our hard-earned money to found Yunjun. Right? Remember back with General Choi, the founding instructors? You know, your Taekwondos remember that, don't you? Well, we were there as the founding instructors of Yunjun. Now, one of those instructors I don't recognise anymore because he embezzled money from my organisation, the ISDA, International Self-Defence Association. Now, I've got all that in writing. If any of you amateur, oh, gee, that's wrong, that's right, you want to challenge me on it, go straight to my website, I'll put you on the page, and you can download the full legal history, and you will see these characters embezzled money. They embezzled badges and that. They didn't make money in the... I'll tell you something. Here's something. Here's another fun fact. In the year 2000 to 2005, I was the founding president of the International Self-Defence Association. Now, I'm going to reboot that. But during that time, you know, I put together all these so-called... well, you know, there's some quite respectful instructors. Some of them have passed away. One of the main ones is Grand Master Peter Wong from the ITF, was my personal friend, and he was basically an advisor, and he was part of it as well, but you know, he sort of stood back at the end of it. Now, I ran every single year, 5 years running, I ran seminars every single year, right? During the time that I ran seminars, they never lost money. And I'm the only one of the group, being the president, that ever got sponsorship money. How about that? Me. Poor old GH. They're all trying to defame me in the background at the moment, right? So I'm the only one who got money into the business. And then a little group, led by one little character that I kicked out for embezzling money and assaulting my son and others, but my son in particular, which I can still pay back on that, but I'm a bigger person than that fool. So these people then embezzled money, but they never made any money, you see. So I supported that organisation. It was my organisation basically, right? So they all got on board and then decided when I put sponsorship money in, then their true characters came out. And the particular character at the moment who's claiming to be a qualified coach and all this other sort of business, but in actual fact she promotes cage fighting, so that's sort of in line with Yun Jun Do, isn't it? Love, care and protection and cage fighting. It's freaking ridiculous. So at the end of the day, I keep saying on all these videos, it's all about integrity. Now, why I've always stuck with integrity is because when things happen like this, like all this stupidity going on, I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know who's up who and who's paying the rent. And I also know who's done what to whom, and it's all in writing. So, why I kicked out that certain character from the ISDA, all in writing. I've got written letters there, etc. So anyway, I'll just leave that one. I don't want to hash over the past. So the trademarks likely, this is section 43, the trademarks likely to deceive and cause confusion. There isn't any confusion. I'm a founding, original instructor. When we did the 3 months full time with Yun, GM Yun, he never even had the patents together, right? And I, Sonny Ryan, and a certain other individual which I don't recognise anymore, and Roy Tapuni, we were selected out of 500 black belts, most of them ITF black belts, right? 500. So these characters that are coming out and trying to criticise me now, I'll just pull your head in a little bit. I'm one of the 500. You're not. Right? That's like you criticising General Choi, or that you criticising Park Jun-tae, or you criticising Chong Chul-ri, or criticising Ri Kia. I'm a master in my own right, and you got to show a bit of respect if you're a martial arts student. Everyone else I'm involved with shows respect because they know I'm a man of integrity. And when it comes to all this stupidity, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Because, around me is lawyers. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? I could be. I could be the average, oh, gee, this all must be real. But the other thing is, what I'll say to you is this. If people put up these documents, wherever they're putting it, on IP, sending them to IP, sending them, doing all these SMSs, or maybe they're putting it on their Facebook, oh, look, Healy's this, Healy's that, Healy's everything. Well, Healy was the one that Grandmaster Yun rang up 6 years ago to reinvigorate Yun Jun Do. So don't you guys forget that. It wasn't me who contacted him. I resigned in 1993 for the same reasons I resigned again in 2022. You get it? The Grandmaster contacted me because he had done nothing for 20 years, left everything in disarray. I hadn't registered any trademarks, let it expire. It was finished, legally finished. Yeah? So don't you, whoever you are, try and debase my reputation, because it stands on its own 2 feet. Then, during COVID, I spent a lot of money trying to build a basic Yunjundo model for the future. This was the Grand Master's plan with me, if you must know the truth. And every single week he would ring me up for 6 years, and I'd go over to his place 2 to 3 times a week, and discuss all this stuff, you know. I know what I'm doing. I gave him a plan, but he didn't want to do anything. He procrastinated and procrastinated and procrastinated. And plus, you know, we're in the middle of COVID. And of course, what he wanted was this. He wanted me to build a club of 200 students, right? He thought this could happen overnight during COVID. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And then what he was going to do from there was use my club, because I'd built big clubs before. My club in Townsville had 100 students, right? Back in the old Chongchul days. And had a gym with 2,000 members. So, you know, I'm not some half-wit amateur. I was actually the only Yunjundo instructor that ran a professional club. I mean, as far as numbers, gym and all this sort of stuff. I had a centre equal to the Master Sports Centre, you know, swimming pools, everything, right? So when you talk to me, show a bit of respect. So he contacted me, and I spent day and day and day, spent a lot of time, you know, just talking the same old stuff like a broken record. But in the meantime, the Grand Master had not registered any trademarks. He had not licensed anything, and he had left all the clubs rot on the vine for 20 years. Since the year 2000. That might have been because of the resignation from Reginald Jokin in Fiji with all the tax stuff, right? So don't talk to me about integrity. There's a lot of stuff I know that if I really get going, you would get a big shock, but I'm not going to go down that road, because that could be, you know, not worth it actually, because this is, I'm talking in the past now, right? So the trademark causing confusion. I'm the original instructor with Sonny Ryan and Roy Tapuni, and the other bloke, I don't even recognise any of his qualifications, because basically coaching wise with the other guy, sent him an SMS and asked him what Australian sports coaching VTech qualifications that he got. None. Anyway, okay, that's just a little point. I've got all of them. I've qualified a lot of the other instructors with it. And here's another point. The Grand Master in the old Albion headquarters tried to register a registered training organisation back in, I think it was the year 2000 or something like that, when this all went haywire. And he was going to do these courses, right? And they're all out of date now. They're all just, you know, I know this. I've got a university degree. It's far above the VTech qualifications, right? Now I'm not putting that down, but I'm saying I understand all that stuff, and I am a registered TAF teacher, and I've got a certificate 4 in training and assessment, which means that I can assess all these documents. You know, you got to know where I'm coming from. You got to know what level that I'm coming from. I'm coming from an uneducated level. So let me get me back to that story. So the Grand Master tried to register an RTO. I think he did eventually register that RTO. Now that's all gone, expired 20 years ago. And he was going to do something with registering or training students and you know, having them with a some sort of VTech qualification. Well, that's all expired. All that stuff's 20 years ago now. It's like Groundhog Day, for God's sake. So what I did, I linked in with Grandmaster Barry Johnson, who's the Kokachinkai master in Melbourne, trained personally by Masayama. And I went ahead and did exactly what I said. I said this to the Grand Master in about 1993 in my resignation letter. I told him what the way of the martial arts instructor will be, and that's qualified coaching qualifications, personal training qualifications, and having more, let's say, options than just a black belt, because that's just a black belt. It doesn't give you coaching qualifications. People may think it does, but it's not recognised by the government or any teaching organisation. So that's another video. So I went ahead and did it. And so my association with Grandmaster Barry Johnson of Kokushinkai Karate School wound up being the biggest educators of martial arts instructors in Australia. We put collectively, and I was part of this, we put $20 million into the Australian economy. Grandmaster Barry Johnson is a very smart man and an absolutely excellent martial arts instructor. And I got all my coaching qualifications, i.e. diploma in sports coaching specialising in martial arts, right, through Sensei Barry Johnson and his organisation, which, by the way, qualified all the major masters in this country. You know, Grandmaster Tino Sobrano, Grandmaster, the IP Grand, the IP man, William Chang, Grandmaster William Chang, none other than the direct descendant of Ip Man and Bruce Lee's senior instructor, senior student. Him and Bruce Lee took on all the gangs in Hong Kong. This is who you're dealing with. And my best mate, associate, Bobby Gabishak, who I brought Commando Krav Maga over here, Bobby Gabishak is the first Wing Chun instructor in Serbia and is currently running a big security organisation in Thailand. I can rattle off some names. These are all men of great integrity, with great lineages to the greatest masters of our era. They all know me. I communicate with them on a daily basis almost. So don't you talk to me about integrity, whoever you are. Now, let me go on. The trademark might deceive and cause confusion. See, this is all rubbish, because their trademark, the original ones, expired 12 years ago, and they put another application in and they're trying to back up lost ground. Now let's have a look over here. This is the last one. Application made in bad faith. Oh God. The application, that's section 62A. Made in bad faith. How can it be made in bad faith when I'm an original founding instructor? I'll tell you what's in bad faith. And this is the Graham Master. He knows this. This is during before I resigned in 2022. The Grand Master approached me to rebuild his website. Now and I've still got the link to it. I've got it all there. It hasn't been activated, but I can give anyone the link so you can. This is proof. Well over about 10 grand's worth of work. 3 months. Did all the photographs. Scanned hundreds of photographs. All this sort of stuff. Then when it come to payment, he suddenly got amnesia. This seems to be a common denominator. So don't talk to me about bad faith. Don't talk to me about integrity, because I've only just scratched on the surface. So, I'm closing off this video now just to set the record straight. So just remember, I'll finish this off here. This one here, and I'll take the cursor down, do you see? This one here, expired 12 years ago. It's finished. Anyone, Billy Bloggs off the street could register that. This one here, the one I registered, right? I'm the original instructor, for God's sake. I'm the bloke that was on the floor when they were doing the patterns, and the Grandmaster had not even worked out the patterns. So I'm a founding international instructor. picked out 1 out of 500 black belts apparently. You know, thank God the other black belts didn't get involved, right? This one here, I designed that. Yeah, I've still got it on Vistaprint if you want to see it, you experts out there. I gave that to the Grand Master, and he used that was supposed to be for his car. He's used that to register some time after I registered. This one here, right, that's another one that they registered, which is a copy of the one I registered. So in IP law, this is how it is, folks. In IP law, you know, I don't know what the Grand Master's trying to do, resurrect the dead or something. He sort of put his, he's done a last, what I call, didn't do anything for 20 years, let everything run down to nothing. Came to see me 6 years ago to rebuild Yunjando and build a big club up and all the rest of it. And COVID hit, you know, as usual. And I just, all I heard was, you know, repeat, Groundhog Day from the past. You know, I know it's not in the past, folks. You know, you guys out there, good luck with dealing with this other character. You know, the expert that's doing coaching, you know, bits of paper and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, just ask him where his coaching qualifications are recognised with the Australian government. There isn't any. So yeah, you tell the guy to stick to cage fighting. That's what he does. He's a cage fighting promoter. So yeah, you know, how that fits in with the philosophy of love, care and protection and cage fighting. So maybe they should change it to love, care and protection and cage fighting, where we bash people to pieces on the floor and break their arms and stuff. Yeah, that to go down well. So I'll leave it at that, folks. I mean, the thing at the end of the day, I'm moving on, and I just thought I'd just put this one up there because, you know, it's just a crock of BS at the end of the day. And people get confused when they see all this stuff. Oh God, it's legal. Oh, you know, I've got lawyers around me. I've got good people that actually live by integrity. They can decipher between fake and reality. And I'll just repeat this for one last time for those couple of characters that contacted me from the Solomon Islands. Yes, I am one of the original founding instructors of Yunjando who put money into it, start-up capital. Therefore, I have ownership rights on anything, including the badges. You with me? It was never a one-man show. If it was a one-man show, then the Grand Master should have taken us down to Brisbane full-time, where we did that at our own expense, and he should have footed the bill. But he didn't. He asked us for money. That's the reality. Now, I'm happy that happened, and I've got no disrespect for the Grand Master's history. However, my personal opinion is his business acumen. Sorry, you know, that is why Yunjando's come unstuck. Is because there hasn't been the integrity everyone starts to think is supposed to be there. Well, I've just named a few things, such as, you know, where did their gradings money go off these various islands without paying tax and all this sort of stuff. That's a reality. I've got letters on it and all that. Now, that's in the past. I could drag that up 100 times, but I know all the masters used to operate like that, all cash in hand. I know who used to spend money in the casino. Your money, your gradings money. You know, I was with Chong Chul for years. I've been to the casino with Chong Chul with gradings money. I know how they operate. I know what happened over in Korea with the Olympics. How much money went under the table. I'm privy to all that. So don't try and think for 1 minute that you are at my level of understanding with all this stuff and who has done what to whom and who's been honest and who's not been honest, right? And even the character they got the Grand Master's grabbing onto with desperation, good luck there. I don't recognise this character. I've eliminated him off my website altogether because he's basically embezzled money from the ISDA with others, and other things. Sold it to my son, for instance. So, that's okay. Forgive and forget. That's in the past. I'm not digging up the past. You guys can dig up the past. You get your shovels out and dig the gravestones all up and go, oh yeah, it's been dead for 20 years. We're going to raise the dead. Sorry, it's over. It is over. It was good back in the day before the chief instructors, including me being a chief instructor, realised it was all about one person and supplying funds to that one person. It wasn't really about you. All right. So these days it's a different ball game. I'm moving ahead and I'm restarting the International Self-Defence Association, and I'll just select leaders, real leaders who are impervious to graft and corruption. And I'm not starting another bureaucracy. It will be a forward-moving organisation that recognises what your particular skills are in your life history. Like, in my opinion, Yun Jun Do was basically a refined version of Taekwondo. There's a little bit of philosophy in it, but to me, it's not better than General Choi's philosophy of perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit, and integrity. We can make up all little different things of philosophy, and then we can get all a very complicated belt grading system. But it's not meant to be complicated. Martial arts isn't meant to be complicated. If you want to defend yourself, it better be simple. Right? So the direction I've gone in, and I went in well and truly before Grandmaster Yun contacted me 6 years ago. I'd already developed my own system. It was a combination of boxing. My family's a boxing family. My father was Queensland State Champion. I boxed as an amateur. I'd boxed professional, so I know what I'm doing in the boxing area. And then, of course, I was with Chong Tul Ree for years, and then joined Grandmaster Yun under the ITF. I think I introduced ITF to Townsville unless someone else went earlier than me. And then I was the founding instructor, one of the founding instructors, original instructors who paid start-up capital to begin Yun Jun Do. So no matter what anyone tries to downplay my position in the show, I stuck money into it. And recently, in that last year and the year before, I also put in a lot of money and advertising and promotions and all this, and I built the Grandmaster another website which he had an amnesia about when it come to paying for it. So this seems to be a common denominator. So I'm not worried about any of that. Where I'm going is, I've got my own history. I'm a master in my own right. I've got all my own qualifications. I've got all my university degrees and stuff, which is far more than most. And my system, just telling you the forward thing, which I've done in a couple of videos, my system's got boxing. I know what I'm doing in boxing. Where I've got the fingers here. Boxing. It's got Taekwondo / Yun Jun Do basic kicking, all the basic kicks. And the third thing, let's have a look at 3 fingers, there we go. The third thing is Commando Krav Maga training. Knife, gun defence, ground defence, all that sort of stuff. I brought the original Monty Isaac, the original Commando Krav Maga founder, to Australia. Made me national director instantly because of my organisational abilities. That's why Grandmaster Yun contacted me. He knows when I start something, I'll finish it. So I'm saying to all you characters out there, good luck. If after 20 years you think you're going to resurrect stuff from the dead, and then you think the Messiah's walked in with, coaching manuals and all this sort of stuff, great, good luck there. Just watch the taxes paid in your country. Have a look at the money trail. Yeah? Be careful. Be careful who's got integrity. That's one of the tests I use, is money. What does people do with money? How do they interact with other people with money? There's your answer. And that's where integrity lies. The people I associate with, I've never, ever, ever had any problems with money. Never. With me, they'll back me up 100%. Some of the best masters in this country, they know how I'm with business integrity. I know what I'm doing. So folks, in the future, I'm recreating the International Self-Defense Association, and that will launch off in the beginning of 2004, and I'll let you know what's going on there. So when I do workshops and that, you won't be locked into a system that was dead and buried 20 years ago. You will see an advanced system, which all the instructors are doing now anyhow. I mean, you look at the various Taekwondo instructors, like, for instance, I'll give you an example, Grandmaster Jamie Moore, for instance. You know, he's got, he's ITF master, he's organising the ITF games, and plus, you know, he's got, a kickboxing division of his ITF Taekwondo. So, you know, he's a Grandmaster in his own right, so he can create his own system, exactly what I've done. So I've always been a forward-thinking guy, futuristic forward-thinking, and the way of the future, in my opinion, my personal opinion, isn't turning the clock back to Yunjin Do 20 years ago. It's moving forward with an advanced version based on who's teaching you. Now, without doubt, in his day, Grandmaster Yun was one of the technically best martial arts instructors, and I respect him for that. But these days, I'm sorry folks, it's all over. It's finished. You can argue about a dysfunctional trademark that's been forgotten about for 12 years. You can argue about, oh God, we've done nothing for 20 years. Suddenly we're going to jump down to Toowong Cemetery and raise a few people from the dead. Good luck there. God bless you all. And I'm moving towards the future. So my future thing has already been rebuilding as I'm speaking to you. I'm leaving all that stuff in the past. I'm not interested in any of it actually. So 2024, sorry, I'll be looking at becoming a lawyer as well, as part of my ongoing education, what they call a Juris Doctor. So I've already got one medical degree, and so the next one's a lawyer. So that should make things interesting, shouldn't it? Good luck challenging my integrity, the various characters, and the ones that know me know that I don't mix words or muck around with characters who don't know what they're talking about. They're on a different level. I only associate with people who do know what they're talking about, okay, including in martial arts. Alright? Okay, Graham Healy, over and out. Hope you enjoyed this little trademark for dummies, and laundering money for dummies, and tax law for dummies. Have a good day. Over and out.